Why are people playing like it's 15 years ago? I'll tell you why. They have inherent reasons to. They're used to their vendors. They like sitting in their cubicle and golfing 2 days a week. There's a lot of reasons why people do it. Entrepreneurs like to do it because it's hard, what I'm talking about. They don't want to do it a different way. They want to survive, but they'd like to figure out a more scalable way. I keep talking about this marathon, how this is a 30-year process if you want to build something for real, and the first question out of every crowd is, okay, Gary, I heard everything you said, but if you could give me 3 points of how to do this in 24 months, how would you do it? It's ludicrous. Everybody wants a shortcut. Everybody wants a hookup. Nobody wants to put a ring on it. You need to put the ring on your customer. Your customer is the end user. Your customer is the end user. Everybody always says to me, well, okay, Gary, great. I heard what you said. You want me to spend a lot of time engaging and searching and going to forums and going to blogs and leaving comments and engaging. Thanks for coming. And you want to do all this stuff, right? No, she had the book. She's cool. She just had to go. I think, and everything's really cool, and you hear all this stuff, and then you're going to raise your hand and say, okay, wait a minute. When do I do my real job? I hear that all the time. You want me to engage 24/7? When am I doing my real job? I have a very strong question to ask this crowd tonight. When was it? Because I can't figure it out. Maybe you can help me. When did it happen that engaging and talking and helping the person that pays your bills became not your real job? When did that happen? When did it get to a place where engaging one-on-one with the end user did not become your end job? I'll tell you when it happened. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, when we all started moving to the suburbs, and we all collectively stopped being next to each other, and our collective voice got broken down, and business took advantage of it. They did, and guess what? Good, and they should. And guess what? If I thought that was happening now, if this was the 1930s and 40s, I'd be standing up here saying, my new book, The Fuck You Economy, is awesome. We don't need to help customers. This is going to be epic. We don't have to care anymore. Thank God. This is going to be awesome. And that's exactly what happened. And we've just lived through the greatest era of the big box store. This, you will look back, you will one day tell your grandkids, no, you'll never believe it. There was this era where there was these big stores like Walmart and Costco, and they didn't care. They just put big stacks of product, and it was a great price. We loved price back then, but they didn't care about us. They will not understand that, because here's what happens. Humans get customized to things very quickly. Let me tell you something about free shipping. 1998, WineLibrary.com, we did $4 million. We're going to do 60 plus this year. We still have never had a day of business bigger than this day in 1998. It was the first day I decided to offer free shipping. We sold so much wine that day, it wasn't even funny. People were buying wine that day like it had the cure inside. I mean, people were just buying. An order comes in for 20 cases of wine. In the comments it said, thank you so much, Wine Library. I bought this wine for my daughter. Me living in the thank you economy back then, but not realizing it, decided to pick up the phone and call the guy and thank him. Called him and said, Jim, you know, it's unbelievable. Thank you so much for such a big order. We'll have it ready for you. Do you need it faster? When's the wedding? He said, oh, no, Gary. My daughter is 12. I said, what? He said, yeah. My daughter's 12 years old, but this is such a sick deal. I'm going to buy this wine and stick it in the basement. Now, you guys are so collectively entitled and so spoiled, you won't buy anything on the internet unless it's free shipping. We get very used to things. Let me take you back to this day. You've got mail. There was a time where you guys loved email. If you're old school enough, you sat there and said, wait a minute, I'm not paying a stamp fee for this? There's no phone charge? I can talk to my kid at college and we don't pay anything? This is the most incredible technology ever. They're going to charge for this soon. They're going to charge for this. That's what you said. People in here loved email. You might be a hair young to remember this, but you loved it. Let me just ask you collectively, how do you guys like email? That's what I thought. And it's gotten so bad that these, Woot and Deal of the Day sites like Groupon and Living Social and, Guild Group and all that stuff, it's only 2 years old and the data's already showing that we're mad at it. Because you know what happened? They email us every day. You were so pumped at first to get $40 worth of sushi for 20 bucks, you couldn't believe, right? You were so happy, but now you signed up to so many of them and you get an email every day from them. You're just deleting them. You hate them already. It's only been 24 months. You don't care if somebody's offering you $1 million home for $4, you're deleting. We get spoiled really fast, very, very quickly. We are human beings. We have an inherent need to humanize things and engage. The reason this stuff is all going to work is we need to express ourselves. The reason the fashion industry is a multi-gajillion-dollar industry is because we need to communicate. Whether it's the haircut we're rocking, the hat we're wearing, the necklace, the shoes, what we wear is how we express ourselves to people. It's why fashion will never go anywhere, because we need to express ourselves. It is how we are wired, okay? Clearly this will all continue. We will have to do this because we need to talk. But I think what's going to be fascinating is to watch this whole thing evolve. Because what I'm talking about in the thank you economy is I believe companies, and this is where it gets a little interesting, I believe that they're going to go directly to you. See, what many of you may not realize is how much a company is willing to pay to get your attention. You know why they spend $3 million on a Super Bowl commercial? Because most companies, depending on the product they sell, are willing to spend hundreds of dollars per head to get you. And if not, at least 20, 30, 40, 50, to get your attention, to get you at least to even think about them. So, in a day and age, as this all evolves, where television will be disrupted and everything else will continue to be disrupted, the companies out there are going to go direct to consumer. You will tweet something, or Tumblr, or Facebook, because honestly, I don't care about the product, I care about the platform. These aren't platforms, the internet is the platform. These are tools on top of the most important platform. Whatever it is, I don't really care. Don't ask me what's going to be next. MySpace, Facebook, it doesn't matter. When you move, you take your friends with you. Here's what I'm most interested in. I'm most interested in when companies wake up in a couple of years and start seeing things like taking a morning run, and then you come home the next day and you've got 4 new pairs of sneakers and a headband and an iPod to listen to. Now it sounds badass right now. That sounds good, right? It sounds good to say, huh, watching the big game, and the next day you get a plasma TV. Sounds real nice. Let me tell you something. That is going to be the way people are going to start marketing, because the opportunity is there and the cost is right for these companies to do it for you. They're going to have to play the politics to not get Walmart and Target and Costco mad at first, but eventually there'll be that plateau where it's worth it for them to go direct to consumer, or at least market direct to consumer, not through traditional channels. And they're going to look at the data and they're going to start buying you. They're going to start socially inducing you to become part of it. And believe this or not, and remember that I was the first person to tell you this, in 12 years you're going to wake up and you're going to start punching your UPS man in the face because you don't want any more stuff. It will happen. It sounds amazing now, but so did free shipping to somebody enough to buy wine for 10 years in advance. And so did email when you were so stunned you didn't have to pay for it. You will get spoiled to such a level with product that you will be stunned.